Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Halo Reach PC, MLG/hardcore/competitive basics. In this episode, we're going to be talking about weapon spawn times. So a quick few basics before we get into the times themselves. So the hardcore playlist or MLG playlist is different when it comes to weapon spawns than the vanilla game. In the vanilla game, the weapon spawn timer starts depending on when a player picks the weapon up. In the hardcore playlist, all of the power weapons are set on what's called a drop spawn. A drop spawn is a little trick used by forgers to make it so that weapons will spawn at the exact same time every game. I'll show a little clip of it here. It basically literally involves the weapon spawning in midair, falling to the ground. This process allows the weapon spawn timer to start as soon as the weapon starts falling, rather than when a player picks it up, meaning that it will always be the same every round. Additionally, all the weapon times that I'm going to be mentioning are based off of the fact that there is a 15-minute timer in the hardcore playlist. Now, if you play custom games and you play Capture the Flag, in Capture the Flag, it's done a little differently in a custom game. You actually have a 30-minute game because it's 15 minutes of regulation and 15 minutes of overtime. So I'll put a link to a website that has those times as well. But for now, we'll just talk about the 15-minute default timer. So we'll go ahead and throw up the times here so you can see all the times are at the beginning of the round, start the weapon spawn immediately when the game starts at 15 minutes. The exception to this is Pennants, where the camo and the rockets do not spawn at 15 minutes. We'll get to that in a minute. So if you notice on the times, the sniper and the grenade launcher always spawn at the same time. So for maps that both of them are on, like Nexus or Zealot, you can expect them both to be up simultaneously. So they start at 15 minutes across the board. Now you'll notice that it's 2 minutes per grenade launcher and sniper and 3 minutes per rocket. But if you notice, the first time after 15 is not 13 even, it's 13:10. The reason for this, and I'll show a little video clip of this, is that at the beginning of the game you have this little loading screen where the map loads and there's a little countdown. During this time, when the map loads, the weapons have already spawned, even though you can't move. And the timer hasn't started for the round either. It starts when the actual game lets you move. So as a result, all the times are offset by approximately 10 seconds. That's easy enough to remember. Memorize these times: 13:10, 11:10, 9:10, 7:10. It's pretty easy. Rockets are every 3 minutes, so 12:10, 9:10, 6:10, 3:10, and the last 10 seconds of the game. The important ones to remember are 9:10 and 3:10, because at these times, all the weapons spawn simultaneously on the map, all the power weapons. So if there is sniper and rockets on the map, such as Sanctuary, Capture the Flag, all the weapons spawn at the same time. So that's enough, easy enough to remember, but you want to remember those times because that's sort of the most pivotal times in the map where you can get all the power weapons going. So we'll talk about Pennants. So Pennants is a little weird because they do not have the weapon spawn right at the beginning. I think it's because the initial spawns are not balanced to go for them. So the rockets spawn at not 15 minutes at the beginning of the game. The first rocket spawns at 12:10. So everything after that is normal. So 12:10, 9:10, 6:10, 3:10, and 10 seconds. But you got to remember that first one does not spawn until 12:10. Next, we're going to talk about the power-ups. Power-ups are different because you can't drop spawn a power-up, so they will always spawn based on pickup. So camo and the overshield in the pit. So these spawn every 2 minutes, starting from when the player picks them up. So if a player picks it up at 14:30, let's say, for the first camo, then you can expect the next camo to spawn at 12:30, and so on. This makes it really important that you contest every power-up if you can, because even if you don't get the power-up, let's say someone kills you right before you get it, if you can death screen and look at the enemy player picking it up, you can time it and say, okay, he picked it up at 14:30, I'm going to go ahead and tell my team it spawns at 12:30. So that's really helpful to time camo, especially on maps like Zealot, Slayer. Camo can be huge, and timing it's really important. The other weapons on the map spawn on a regular vanilla setting. They don't drop spawn them. The only one that you really care about in this situation is probably the shotgun. The shotgun on Pennants is, not quite a power weapon, but it's better than, just like your needle rifles and stuff like that. It spawns every minute 30 based off of pickup. In my opinion, it's probably not worth timing it, but if you want to really be really adamant about it, whenever you pick it up, you can time it for a minute 30, and then that's when the next shotgun will spawn. we'll quickly go through the other ones. Plasma pistol spawns at 1:30. Grenades spawn every 30 seconds. Health packs spawn every 30 seconds. The DMR and the needle rifle are every 10 seconds. And this will all be based off of when it's picked up. The only other one that you may need to know about is the jetpack. The jetpack is a little weird because it's based off of when the prior jetpack despawns. So this is, I believe, 41 seconds after a player that has a jetpack gets killed. Because it's 11 seconds, I believe, for the body to despawn, and then another 30 seconds for the actual jetpack to spawn back. Again, probably not worth timing, but just something you can keep in mind, that if someone's been killing you the whole game with a jetpack, it's probably their jetpack's not going to be spawned again for another player to get until they die. Other than that, the weapon spawns are really straightforward. As long as you can remember these times, it can be really helpful. If people are interested, I'm also planning on making a sort of video timer that will play sort of an audio saying that, you know, hey, 30 seconds until this weapon, 10 seconds until this weapon, and I'll make one for every map, and I will put them up on an unlisted video, and I'll link the videos, sort of a table that has all the different videos, and I'll link all of them separately in the description of this video. So if you're interested in learning about or using a timer, you want to do it there. When you're using the timer, you want to wait until you gain control of your character. So you want to wait for that little countdown timer to go and then start the timer at the same time, which means it'll probably be difficult to do when you're on the same PC that you're actually playing on, so you may need to use like your cell phone or something like that. But this was just something helpful that I've used something similar in the past, and it can really help, so you don't have to constantly be looking at the time left in the game. You can just listen. So if people are interested in that, I've left video links in the description for that. And I will also link to a website that has all of the weapon times on it if you just want it in an easy plain text format. I'll link to them. It was easier than making an exact same information on like a Google Doc or something like that. There was no sense in redoing it when they already had it. So I'll link to that. And yeah, definitely easy way to keep track of weapon times, because power weapons and power-ups are really easy kills. So you want to make sure you get all of them during the game. Thanks for watching.